What's up, everyone? Sean CountBlagorath here with a list. This is part 2 of my top 20 albums of 2012, and this is numbers 10 through 1. Let's get started immediately with number 10. This is a black metal record from a Canadian black metal outfit that's been around for a little while, and that is Sorcerer de Glace, with their re-recording of Snowland. Some people are going to say I shouldn't include this. It's listed as a 2012 full-length release on Metal Archives, so I'm going to say it is a new album and a full-length because really, they did a lot different with this album. They kept the original atmosphere, but just made it better. And if you've never listened to Snowland, you need to. This is the pinnacle of what stripped-down, traditional, at its purest form black metal should sound like. Absolutely desolate, cold soundscapes that are just completely entrancing and just absolutely beautiful. Just phenomenal music. And the musicianship is perfect for what the style is. It's not over the top, it's not poorly played, everything just sounds phenomenal, and this is definitely an album you all need to check out, especially if you're a fan of traditional black metal. Number 9 is a psychedelic progressive folk record, and that is Hex Vessel with No Holier Temple. This is just beautiful music. It's very, very entrancing music. It's music that will make you immersed in the overall, not only atmosphere, but the forest-like feel of the record. From the flutes and the acoustic guitars to the drums and even a little bit of distortion on a couple songs. It just all adds up to this very, very massive sounding, quite honestly, a beautiful record and one of the most atmospheric albums I've ever heard. If you're into folk music or psychedelic or progressive, this album is for you. It sounds like it came out straight out of 1970. Great stuff. Definitely check that out. Number 8 is actually of a band I'm wearing a shirt of right now, Maps of War. Maps of War are a band from my area, and their self-titled debut album, Maps of War, is an absolutely awesome take on modern metal. It is a very catchy, it's a very fast-paced, it's a very headbangable album. It's an infectious album. It's an album that is filled with not only just great musicianship, but actually stuff that's truly memorable. From everything from the awesome riffs to the very unique style of drums that are being played on this record to the great vocals and awesome lyrics. This is definitely an album that you all need to check out. Just really, really good stuff. Definitely check out Maps of War and definitely pick this album up. Number 7 is what I would consider to be the best symphonic black metal record I have ever heard. And before you guys are all getting excited, it is not Crack Angren. I am talking about Xanthochroid with Blessed He with Boils. Oh my god. This band calls their style cinematic black metal, and they earned that title of calling it cinematic black metal. This is just absolutely massive and bombastic, huge, gorgeous black metal with some acoustic elements, beautiful clean singing, absolutely huge sounding synth, and quite honestly, overall, one of the best symphonic black metal records I have ever heard. It's hopelessly addicting too. It's an album that you will just constantly listen to, even though you want to listen to something else. You're just going to sit there and you're going to listen to this one even more. It's that good. You're going to delay whatever you want to listen to so you can listen to this some more. It's an amazing album. Definitely one you should check out. Number 6 is a doom metal record from a Finnish outfit that's been around for quite a while, and that is Swallow the Sun, Emerald Forest, and the Blackbird. One of the most beautifully depressing doom metal records I have ever heard. Everything from the absolutely just gorgeous sounding soundscapes that give you visions of a Finnish desolate landscape. Almost like you're on the shore, kind of like in the Cathedral Walls video. I just get those kind of images in my head when I listen to this. Some really amazing clean vocal work that has been done, and that's personally one of my favorite elements of the music, is not only the melody but the clean vocals that are being performed on this record. The keyboards just add even more to the depth of this record. The growls are some of the deepest and most hateful sounding growls I have ever heard, with some of the most crushing riffs, yet some of the most gorgeous riffs, especially when it is clean. Some beautiful work, amazing doom metal record. Definitely check this out. Number 5. Now we're in the top 5 albums of 2012. Number 5, Pseudo God with Death Womb Catechesis. This is a dark, brooding, absolutely crushing, scary, just an audio equivalent of being dragged into the deepest, darkest depths of hell. This album is absolutely massive. This is a monster of an album. Just some of the darkest atmosphere I've ever heard, with some of the coolest duality of music I have heard when it comes to the black and death metal genre. It's not just this big wall of noise. There's some very good black metal riffs being done with some of the eerie chain of notes that black metal is known for having, with the single pick open strings being done over these really heavy death metal riffs with some guttural as hell vocals. Just overall a great album, and one I cannot recommend enough to all of you guys to check out, especially if you like black metal and death metal. It's not just an album that's for black and death metal fans. This is an album for fans of both genres. Great stuff. Number 4, Winterfylleth with the Thrundi of Triumph, I believe is how you say the name. I know guitarist Mark Wood corrected me on it, and I'm sorry, Mark, I forgot how to say it, but regardless of the title, one of the best pieces of atmospheric black metal to come out this year. Absolutely beautiful stuff. I keep saying beautiful about a lot of these albums because that's what they are. And this music is very dark in a very, how should I put it, in a very genuine way. It's not a forced pseudo darkness. There's no forced darkness to the music. It's dark in a very odd sort of way. It's a black metal album you can listen to during the day and get just as much from as you would at night. Just these very eerie riffs, these thick, absolutely massive sounding guitars being done in this very atmospheric Wolves in the Throne Room-esque way, just create a whole new sound to an already great genre. Just absolutely near perfect stuff. I cannot recommend Winterfylleth enough to fans of atmospheric black metal. This is good stuff. Number 3, Cytotoxin with Radiophobia. This is technical death metal at its absolute finest. Some of the heaviest slams you will ever hear in death metal, with some of the most tech riffs you will ever hear in death metal. But it's not done in an over-the-top, wankery, noodly sort of way where they're being tech for the sake of tech, which is what I like to call necrophagous syndrome. They do not suffer from that at all. They write very genuinely. They have very interesting patterns when they do breakdowns and slams. It's not the same sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 kick pattern. The kick pattern constantly changes, and if it doesn't change, it doesn't need to because it's already interesting enough as is. Some of the lowest vocals you'll hear all year, some of the craziest pig squeals you'll ever hear, and just some, all in all, just a phenomenal album that flows perfectly. Definitely check this out. Number 2, Woden's Throne with Curse. This is a black metal record that has stuck with me since I heard it, and it's a black metal record that makes me feel emotions unlike any other black metal record that I've heard besides their album Loss. Just very dark, beautiful, absolutely amazing riffs These are atmospheric black metal riffs that will stay with you. They are not the typical Wolves in the Throne Room worship. They do what Winterfylleth does and just kind of expand upon that in an odd sort of way. Some people say Winterfylleth does it better. I personally, to an extent, feel like Woden's Throne does it better. And with this album, it's further proof that they are one of the best bands in black metal. It's not some of the most original material, but in my opinion, it's some of the best material that's out there. This is an album that's for any fan of black metal and for any fan, especially of atmospheric black metal. Great screams, great riffs, amazing drumming, a flow unlike any other black metal record. This whole thing is just a giant masterpiece. Definitely check this out. Now, number one, this was a very hard thing for me to do, but for album of the year, I'm going to call it at Limp Bizkit, The Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavored Water. Just one of the best albums no, I'm kidding. Number one is actually a tie, and I'm pulling a Cover Killer Nation on this. If you don't like it, fight me. I don't care. These two albums are the best albums that have come out this year. They are both perfect 10s, and in my opinion, you do not get better than these albums. These are going to be what I would consider to be some of my all-time favorite records in the coming years. These are just absolutely massive, and I couldn't put one above the other because they're both so perfect. And the first album on this album of the year level is Ahab the Giant. Hands down, bar none, the best Funeral Doom album to ever come out. Mournful Congregation, the Book of Kings was great. This annihilates any other doom metal record that has come out this year. This annihilates any other Funeral Doom album that has ever come out, period. Some of the heaviest and most massive sounding, earth-crushing, soul-breaking riffs I have ever heard. I got chills when I heard this, and I still get chills when I hear this. The riffs have almost a catchy sort of quality. They have a clean quality to them, yet are so distorted and just punishing that I am in total and complete awe. The drums are phenomenal. They sound amazing, not only just sonically, but what he's doing actually makes Funeral Doom interesting to listen to, which is a feat in itself. The vocals range from these absolutely perfect clean vocals to some of the deepest and darkest vocals I have ever heard, period, in metal, or really in any genre at all. These are just straight up hateful, anger-filled vocals that are just phenomenal. And it's an album that just leaves you with a certain atmosphere of total and utter despair, of being lost at sea. Amazing album, 10 out of 10. And the number 2 album of the year is Woods at Ypres, Woods 5, Grey Skies and Electric Light. This is an album that is beyond words of perfection. There's nothing that is really that new being brought forth in the music, but let me tell you this. The emotions and the absolute beauty behind the lyrics, the vocals, the riffs, the drums, the keyboards is just perfect. That's the only way I can describe this album, is perfect. I love everything about it, from the amazing clean vocals to the riffs, and just everything is so damn good. The lyrics are truly an experience in themselves, and quite honestly some of the best I've ever heard. And I recommend both of these albums to you guys to check out. Ahab the Giant, Woods of Ypres, Grey Skies and Electric Light, Woods 5. Definitely check those out. Those are my albums of the year, and that is my top 20 albums of 2012. And that's it, everyone. Have a happy new year. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And as always, keep it metal.